to have you with us on the Friday edition of the Urban Debate. Let's begin with the latest as far as India's efforts to bring you a COVID vaccine is concerned. Today, the Prime Minister spoke about it, and he said that there are 3 vaccine trials in India which are very close. And experts believe that a COVID vaccine could be ready in a few weeks. So this is the big comment that's coming from the Prime Minister today at a virtual meeting that he was holding with political parties on the COVID-19 situation. Now, we've been very closely tracking not just the clinical trials going on in our country for the COVID vaccine, but also across the world. And we've been constantly getting you experts on what makes sense for us about the India's preparation and what we need to do to ensure a quicker, efficient rollout for the COVID vaccine when we finally have one. Now, today, I also want to tell you, as we bring in an expert voice on this, that the DBD Secretary held an exhaustive webinar on all aspects of COVID vaccine, and he said that it is important to have a large basket of vaccine. We really don't know which is going to be the best one, and in fact pointed out that it's not even necessary that the first one that we get, or the first vaccine that India approves and begins to use will actually be the best. It's quite possible that months later from now we find something which is much better than what we're using right now. But he did talk a bit more about the efforts that have gone into the development of the vaccine, though many were left asking questions about India's specific preparation when it comes to mass immunization, which is what we are all hoping for. Before we go across to our expert here, let's also listen into what the Prime Minister had to say in that virtual meeting.
माना जा रहा है कि अगले कुछ हफ्तों में कोरोना की वैक्सीन तैयार हो जाएगी। जैसे ही वैज्ञानिकों की हरी झंडी मिलेगी, भारत में टीकाकरण अभियान शुरू कर दिया जाएगा। इसमें प्राथमिकता कोरोना के मरीजों के इलाज में जुटे हेल्थ केयर वर्कर्स, फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स और जो पहले से गंभीर बीमारियों से जूझ रहे हैं, वैसे बुजुर्ग लोगों को दी जाएगी। हमारे पास टीकाकरण के लिए दुनिया का बहुत बड़ा और अनुभवी नेटवर्क भी मौजूद है। इसका पूरा लाभ उठाया जाएगा। जो कुछ अतिरिक्त कोल्ड चेन इक्विपमेंट, अन्य लॉजिस्टिक की जरूरत पड़ेगी, राज्य सरकारों की मदद से उसका भी आकलन हो रहा है। भारत ने एक विशेष सॉफ्टवेयर भी बनाया है, कोविन, जिसमें कोरोना वैक्सीन के लाभार्थी वैक्सीन के उपलब्ध स्टॉक और स्टोरेज से जुड़ी रियल टाइम इंफॉर्मेशन रहेगी। वैक्सीन की कीमत कितनी होगी, इसे लेकर भी सवाल स्वाभाविक है। केंद्र सरकार इस बारे में राज्य सरकारों के साथ बात कर रही है। वैक्सीन की कीमत को लेकर फैसला जन स्वास्थ्य को सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता देते हुए किया जाएगा।
That's what the Prime Minister had to say. Of course, he was talking about an overarching plan and a larger vision of how things will move as soon as we get a green signal from our scientists and our experts on which vaccine we are going to go ahead for. But Renu Swarup, the Secretary of the Department of Biotechnology, she spoke a little bit more about the plans. Let's say good evening to Vikas Dandekar to understand where we stand. Vikas, 3 of those trials, of course, the facilities of which Prime Minister himself visited last week, is what India is betting on. But are we ready to say that if in a few weeks one of these vaccine gets an approval, are we ready to roll it out and start giving it to people within the next few months?
Right. So thanks so much for having me. Basically, what we can understand is that the flow of news has definitely become very heavy in the last 2 weeks. And following on the visits that you mentioned of Prime Minister Modi, we know about Serum Institute actually building up quite a big base of its manufacturing, capacity in millions of doses. And so far as the rollout is concerned, what we understand, this is going to be the roadmap. So once we have some idea about the interim analysis of how the locally tested vaccine works for Serum Institute, I think it will be matched more or less with what has happened with AstraZeneca's vaccine, the Oxford University combination. And then, based on the approval process, I think what Prime Minister Modi mentioned about a few weeks, probably that is where it will be headed. So it looks perfectly, okay in terms of the timelines that he is actually mentioning. We don't know about Zykov D of Zydus Cadila, which probably will be entering phase 3 anytime soon, and Covaxin of Bharat Biotech, which is already in phase 3. So generally, from what we have seen in the other trials across the globe, they have actually got approvals at the back of shorter data. So MHRA has approved the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. In Russia, the Gamaleya vaccine has also been told that it will be available for mass immunization. So I don't think they will be waiting for like the entire trial to be concluded. And one more thing from the meeting that you mentioned today, they mentioned the regulatory authorities spoke about rolling reviews. So you don't really have to wait for the entire dossier to be completed and then submitted. So as we get data, the examination process goes simultaneously. And so building on the background of the data, the approval process becomes faster. So that's the process that has been followed by MHRA. And so far as US is concerned, we know about the review process. Pfizer's emergency use approval will be reviewed on December 10th and Moderna's will be December 17th. So that also gives some indication that these reviews, provided they go okay, these will be the possible timelines that by in a couple of weeks from now, we will have some indication of the vaccine's readiness.
Vikas, would it be correct to say that there could be a situation where we actually see multiple vaccines in the market, a constant review of how each is being responded to by the people who've been given this vaccine, and then maybe stepping back a little bit on one of those and stepping up the production of another basis how the response is? Is that something that the government is equipped to track and review?
Yes, absolutely. And it's a great question because each of these vaccines are actually following a different technology platform. So we know about the barriers that will be posed by extremely, cold chain vaccines, which will require -70 and, those kind of things. So obviously that will not be a high priority. And at several forums, it has been mentioned by government officials that they will not be really looking very keenly, though the companies, Pfizer has actually said that they are actively looking at participating in government programs, but looks like the ones which probably will be cheaper. Serum Institute has actually mentioned about 600 rupees per dose, and to be available by March or April. And then the prioritization groups also we have got some idea. So it looks like it will be a combination of vaccines which are more fitter from the Indian manufacturers, so that the indigenous manufacturers will be able to produce it in bulk quantities. It will be lesser in terms of budgets, and of course the distribution nightmare that can come in vaccines that will require extremely frigid temperatures, that will also be avoided.
Oh yes, absolutely. So in fact, even though the Pfizer themselves have said that they are in conversation with the Indian authorities, I think our own government is betting bigger on the ones that we are working on here because they're more suitable, even logistically and infrastructure and distribution wise for us. But Vikas, my very last question to you. in terms of when we started off, say 8-9 months ago, and the world had begun its hunt for vaccine, and the way we knew how vaccine research and trials and the speed at which they are conducted, I think we've seen this process take place very differently on a very fast-track basis. Is it still the kind of timeline that we were assuming earlier? Is that still valid to say it could still take us 2 to 3 years to get a majority of the population immunized, or could it be faster?
Okay, so only yesterday I think Wall Street Journal reported that because Pfizer has actually encountered some supply challenges, they have actually slashed their
Yes.
supply capacities. So that kind of tells you that things are will actually shape up one at a time. So a lot of it is actually fluid, so we don't know. But yes, I mean, from the reports that I am reading, only recently Bernstein report said that it's a $40 billion opportunity, and obviously nobody wants to lose out on this massive opportunity. So it will probably shape up for the next 3 to 4 years. After probably one and a half years, we will only see booster shots. In terms of the timelines, I think it's a lesson learned by a lot of regulators that it can actually get compressed. The regulatory process itself is a new discovery. I mean, from the time when it used to take like 10, 12, 15 years to give a regulatory approval, if all the safety procedures are followed and if the efficacy is really looking at what it is being shown, it's a massive discovery, in fact. So, if we know that the safety parameters are followed, there is ample sampling that has happened of volunteers, and everything rolls out well. One more thing I must also tell you that there will be observation of these people who will be getting the vaccines for at least 1.5 to 2 years. So we don't know exactly how it will shape up,
Yes.
whether there will be a lot of adverse events. So it's something that is very new to the world. So probably it's a lot of experiments going on right now.
Yeah. In fact, like you said, that we will have to observe people who get it for maybe a year and a half to see how they respond to it. We don't even know if any of these vaccines do have a longer term effect. That it's also something that we will probably only gradually find out. And I will pick up from something that you also mentioned, Vikas Dandekar, is about if we are to go by the efficacy that these companies are claiming, and if they have been exhaustively used on a good set of volunteers, and this is how they're working, then of course it's great news for the entire world. Thank you so much, Vikas Dandekar, for joining us and putting all of this in perspective for us. Of course, here on Vida Now, we keep a very close track on all developments related to COVID vaccine.